Okay, now it's time for the grammar. And today's grammar is past tense questions with did, was, or were. Okay, so in a past tense question, we need to use did, or was, or were. So when do we use did, and when do we use was and were? Well, first, did we use for questions about action. Action. So, was we use for questions about description. So what's the difference between a question about action and a question about description? Well, let's look at this example. The verb grow up. Grow up is this action. And if I want to ask a question about this action, I need to use did. For example, where did you grow up? So, when I use the verb, the action, when I ask a question about the verb or the action, I need to use did for the auxiliary. So did is only for verbs, when I use a verb in the question. Now, was and were is different, because it's a question about description. So if I want to know your house location when you were young, I would use was and were, because it's a question about a description. So I'd say, where was your house? Where was your house? Now notice when I use was or were, there is no other verb in the question. It's the only verb. This is not a question about action, it's a question about description. So was and were are the only verbs. Remember, did is for action, so we use did when we ask a question about the verb, about the action. Where did you grow up? And was and were are questions about description. It's the only verb in the question. For example, where was your house? Very good. So be careful. Remember, when we use was, it's only for the subjects I, he, she, and it, the singular subjects. And with the subjects you, we, and they, the plural subjects, we use were. Another thing to think about is that when we use the verb be in the past tense, we do not use did. Did and be are never in the same sentence. No. So, in the past tense question, you cannot use did when the main verb is be. We use the past tense of be. Were you in class yesterday? And it's the only verb in the sentence. Very good. Okay, so now